This is just a quick update because I know I haven't done anything on the YouTubes for a couple of weeks. I've finally decided to start prepping my parts for the hybrid build, which is of course sticking a two-stroke in this frame. The first thing I've got to do is sort out this 4-litre tank, which I've just pulled off the Mk5, which is in pieces behind me there. Now I've got the wires for the e-bike running up here. I'm not going to reroute them under there because I want to leave room for the clutch and accelerator cables under there. So these 4-litre tanks are great because if you've never seen one before, the stock tanks have the mounting bolts welded into the tank, and though it hasn't happened to me yet, I've heard they're prone to cracking and leaking, whereas these ones actually have mounting hardware separate on there. And what that's going to allow me to do is, with some of my 6mm threaded rod, I'm going to be able to measure out pretty much precisely how much I need with a bit of extra overhang and mount that perfectly. Now, just looking like that, that's a really nice fit to the curve of that frame. I've sort of had issues sticking it on the mountain bikes as it doesn't quite fit, but these are contoured to a classic beach cruiser frame anyway, so hopefully I won't have any dramas putting that in. But I do want this build to look pretty good. I'm not too worried about that residue from all the tape from the other bike at this point. I've just got to get cracking in getting that mounted properly in the first place. Now I pulled the little 20-incher off the Mk5. Just, it doesn't look bad looking at it like this, but it's pretty bowed out of shape. I think the frame's bent on here as well. It just wasn't working properly. So there's my DIY boost bottle, which I do want to stick all this on that bike, but it is the motor off this one, because that is the newer motor that's going to be coming off. And just to begin with, I'm just going to, with the exception of the banana exhaust that's coming off, I'm just going to pretty much carry it straight on over to the Mk5, get it running before I start messing with the boost bottle and the tune there. You'll notice the Mk4 stroke doesn't have a back wheel at the moment. I tried to repair the wheels. They're just basically spare tyres and tubes now. So I've got to source yet another wheel for that. I'll probably go to the tip shop and you know, just pick up a cheap frame, and hopefully the wheel will be all right there. That's about it for now. The first main headache I had to do was you know, drain the fuel tank and pull it off that bike. It was cable tied in, and I just can't be bothered, to be honest. It's a big job, and I just want a bike that rides properly again. Every single one of these bikes as it stands has something that goes wrong, and I haven't really been able to go for a big ride with it. So yeah, I'm going to go through my spare parts box and try and find some tank mounting hardware and get cracking on getting that that fuel tank mounted. Alrighty, so we have one mounted tank. Now there needs to be Loctite and a bit of rubber put up underneath there, but as you see, I've given myself plenty of extra thread there if I want to run more cables up under the tank here, which is what I will end up doing, seeing as the wires are already making that space up there. So that's it for the hybrid bike for now. That's a start. I would normally start by doing the rag joint first, but I think I'm going to size the engine up to the frame. So the next thing will be to pop these things off if I can. And of course. Alright, so as you see there, I've liberated the motor from the Mk5 bike. All the cables and accessories are still off. But the first hiccup I've had is that this frame is so large that there's no way that this was just going to fit on this frame. So the first thing I've had to try is to remove the chain guard, which should give me a couple extra inches clearance. Alright, now that's resting on the chain as it is right now. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to find one of those adapter plates and go from there. Alright, so we have a bit of clearance there. It's not sitting perfectly flush there yet, so I may have to try and grind that down. But here I've got two spaces and then a plate and then this mounting plate here. But this banana pipe doesn't clear the pedals. So I'm going to go and size up the stock pipe now. But if that's still not going to work, then I might try to bend the pipe or try something else. Alright, let me just give you a close-up of the mounting solution here. We just clear the pedals. It does seem to be fairly straight on the frame. Can we get a look down here? Obviously there's still no sprocket on the back yet, but that alignment seems to be fairly good too. What I am concerned about at the back is that it's not quite sitting flush. I'm not a fan of sticking rubber on the engine mounts. I tried that once before and it didn't really work out. All that happened was on the pinch points the rubber wore away anyway, and all you were left was a loose mount. But I've got some rain clouds coming. So that's it. Best thing about having the e-bike done is I could still go out and ride it like that if I so wanted. I've just got to go stick a cap on there. The needle's still hanging off the back of the Mk5, so I'll go find a spare one just to cover that up so nothing gets in it. And yeah, next time it'll be sticking the rag joint on, which is a loveless task, especially with the coaster brake arm. So yeah, that'll be next time.